Why do we root for some monsters and reject others? Why do certain movie killers cause immediate disgust, while others spark fascination, curiosity, and even sympathy? Cinema has made us fear psychopaths, but it has also made us admire them. And that doesn't happen by accident. In 1991, The Silence of the Lambs was released. And even though Clarice is the protagonist, the character who truly left a mark was Hannibal Lecter. A few years later, American Psycho hit theaters. Patrick Bateman is also a killer, but nobody likes him. And that's no coincidence. Two films, two psychopaths, two defining moments that determine whether we end up loving them or hating them. There's a very well-known screenwriting rule called Save the Cat. The idea is simple. Early in the story, the character does something that creates empathy. It can be a small gesture, helping someone. That moment tells the audience, you can trust this character. Writers know this, and they use it all the time. There's also the dark counterpart to this technique, often called kick the dog. And, well, you can probably guess how that one works. To understand this better, let's take a look at American Psycho. In the first scene where we meet the protagonist, he's having lunch with his friends at a restaurant, and our initial impression of him is relatively positive. His friends are portrayed as shallow, superficial men, while Bateman seems more reasonable by comparison. The next scene takes place at a party. When a waitress says the bar only accepts cash, Bateman reacts in a noticeably disproportionate way.
$25.
You're a fucking ugly bitch. I want to stab you to death, then play around with your blood.
Then we see his famous morning routine. By this point, we already feel some antipathy toward him. He's superficial and unpleasant. But being superficial and unpleasant doesn't make someone a villain, just an asshole. That's when we witness his first real psychotic break. The film shows the peak of Bateman's superficiality in the iconic business card scene. As he and his colleagues compare cards, Bateman becomes deeply uncomfortable. This trivial event pushes him over the edge and leads him to literally kick a dog.
Hello. Pat Bateman. You want some, money? Some food? This what you need?
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Cold out too, isn't it?
From that moment on, what we feel toward Patrick Bateman is fear and anger. Now wait a second. Hannibal Lecter is also a killer. So why do people like him? The difference lies entirely in how the screenplay introduces him to the audience. In Hannibal's very first scene, we're guided toward feeling sympathy for him. Clarice goes to visit him in prison, but she's made deeply uncomfortable by the sexual advances of Dr. Chilton. Shortly after, we get that scene.
Much too sophisticated for the standard tests. Oh my, does he hate us? Thinks I'm his nemesis.
Then Clarice descends several staircases into what feels like a dungeon, a dark, oppressive space. This descent isn't just physical, it's moral. The men down there are the worst criminals imaginable. She moves from a well-lit place into darkness. The director is telling us to feel fear because Clarice is afraid. We're meant to enter her mindset and feel what she feels. After multiple security instructions and warnings about who Hannibal Lecter is, what we actually find is a man who is polite, cultured, and even gentle. His presence is far more pleasant than Dr. Chilton's. Clarice feels more at ease with a murderer than with the prison's director. The screenwriter, combined with the director's vision, creates this contrast to break our prejudice. Hannibal Lecter seems like the most lucid person in the building. He doesn't look like a monster, even though we know exactly who he is. All of this prepares us for what comes next, the save the cat moment.
I bit my wrist so I could die.
Look at the blood! Gotcha!
Me? You stupid fuck! Agent Starling! Come back! Agent Starling! Agent Starling! that have happened?
And in that moment, Hannibal Lecter positions himself as a hero. Shortly after, she receives a phone call and learns that Miggs is dead. Hannibal Lecter convinced Miggs to swallow his own tongue and stop breathing. The monster defended the heroine. Clarice doesn't approve of what Lecter did, but the audience is often more cruel than the heroes. We see Lecter as a protector, a man with a code, willing to use violence to defend a woman's dignity. Because, in the end, it's not about who kills and who doesn't. It's about how the screenplay presents these characters to us. Patrick Bateman is designed to provoke disgust. Hannibal Lecter is designed to provoke fascination. Cinema doesn't ask our permission to make us feel empathy. It simply creates the right context, the right contrast, and the perfect moment. And when a story is well told, we don't realize we're being manipulated. We just feel. That's why understanding narrative, pacing, editing, and intention is so important. Not just for telling great stories in film, but for any video that wants to hold attention, generate emotion, and keep the audience watching until the very end. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to bring this kind of narrative construction into your own projects, whether on YouTube, social media, or personal work, feel free to reach out and get to know my work as an editor. I'm Alex. This was AC Productions, and I'll see you in the next video.